Hey guys, welcome back to another JC Tennis video. So today we're going to hop into these Toronto men's quarterfinal matchups. We have two of them today. The other two were played yesterday. I do have some pretty strong leans on these two matches. I've really done some deep dives into these specific matchups, these guys' form, and everything else surrounding it. So I have obviously the money line, the over-under, and the game spread pulled up here for you guys for you to see. So we're just going to hop right into it and start with Fritz and Rublev. And my first take on this match is that I think this one's a little bit more simple than the Minaur Shelton match. I think Fritz is a class ahead of Rublev as a player at this point in their careers. He's in a bit of a different league. And I think Rublev's playing well, but getting Fritz at minus 215 here just off rip feels really like that's a good price for Fritz against Rublev right now. To have him at minus 215, that feels really solid. And this is their head-to-head, 5-4 Taylor Fritz. So it's pretty even. But something that you should note here, if you really dive into it, last 4 times they've played on hard court, Taylor Fritz, all 4. The 2 Rublev wins in the last couple years have come on clay. Everything else has been Fritz. Earlier in the career, as you could see, it was more evened out on hard court. But that definitely bodes well for me liking Fritz here. So, and then I have some of his results pulled up. These are really solid wins. Beating Diallo like that, beating Leheshka, very good wins. This tournament, you don't have to worry about too many matches. Like, obviously, that's a long match against Leheshka, but these matches are so spaced out and they're only best of 3. They're not going to kill these guys. They're going to be okay physically. All of these guys. And that's a big thing about Minaur, because Minaur, you might think because of the long week last week in DC, he won't be good. He's only played 2 matches in like 9 days. But that's for the other match. But I think Fritz is just a class ahead. And I also believe in he's such a top player. Obviously, Fritz, he's top 4 in the world. He's due to at least make a final in a tournament. He got knocked out last week in DC. And obviously, he was the best player in that field. And he's the number 2 seed here. He's due to make at least a final, if not win a title. So I believe in being due and taking guys at this type of price when you know they're going to be rising a little bit higher. So I definitely like Fritz. I like him money line here because I really think that's a good price. And then I would take, if I had to lean aside on spread, I'd totally take Fritz spread. Okay, so the next match that's going to be played right after on the center court in Toronto, Minaur Shelton, and I was looking at this head-to-head. They've never played each other, which is pretty surprising. 2 top 10 players that have been there for kind of like a year now, at least. Shelton a year, Minaur more than that, been around the top 10. Haven't even played each other yet, which is so interesting. So obviously that makes it a little bit harder to see what the trends of the matchup are and everything. And they're both playing so well. Minaur obviously coming off a title last week. And then Shelton had a good run, but ultimately fell short. And then now we're this week again. So these guys are playing some of the better tennis of anyone on this North American hardcourt swing so far. So you see the line there. It's pretty even. I think we're just going to be looking at money line here. The game spread is kind of it's too even of a matchup to think about game spread. You got to just think about money line here. And I will say that Minaur earlier today was more towards like minus 165, 170. So it's shifted a little bit towards Shelton. But this is what I'll say about this matchup. And I was doing this before I started recording. Because Minaur's unique, so I'm not going to compare Shelton versus players like Minaur because Minaur is so unique. I thought, what has Minaur done against top players with similar game styles to Shelton? And I came up with a few players. I came up with Fritz. I came up with Draper. Even though Draper's lefty, it's similar. So big serve +1, powerful top player. And then I think Leheshka, to a certain degree, plays a similar game style. So I picked Fritz, Draper, Leheshka, and went with Minaur's history against all those guys. It's very good. He's kind of even against Fritz, but Fritz is a more polished, better version of Shelton. And then I believe Demon has a winning record against the other 2, and he just beat Leheshka. I think it was last week he beat Leheshka. So that's why, and I think part of the reason why he's only minus 155 could be because they think he could be a little tired just because he's played so many matches and a lot of long matches. But one, he's an unbelievable athlete, one of the best athletes on tour. And two, these matches have been so spaced out, and he had a walkover in the second round of this tournament, and he got the bye, so he didn't have to play till Wednesday. Then he got a walkover. Then he played another match a few days later, and now he has this match. He's not going to be gassed. Shelton's probably been the one that's played more in the last week and a half since DC. But I think I would take de Minaur. Obviously, because he won the title, it's easy to say he's playing a little bit better, but it's true. He's playing out of his mind right now. But you could use the reverse logic of what I just said, because I said Fritz is definitely due to make a final, win a title. You could easily just say that de Minaur is due to lose a match like this against a very solid opponent in a quarterfinal after winning a title. But I think his stock is still going to rise a little bit more, and that's why I have him against Shelton. So those are my two picks. I like Fritz moneyline, I like Fritz spread, and I like de Minaur to win this match against Shelton. So that's really all I have for this one, guys. Those are the Toronto quarterfinals today, and I'll probably be back soon, and we'll see how these picks ended up doing. So I'll see you guys next time.